Welcome along to our social media show. Get inside the music. Time with Chico.
Okay, good afternoon, Lewis Branch. It's Chico here from Get Inside the Music. Thanks for coming along today. We really appreciate it and look forward to talking to you and sort of finding out a bit about you. Where is it you're from then, Lewis?
Hi, thank you for having me. I am from Tame, which is in Oxfordshire. So it's like southeast of the country. So yeah, I live in this little small town where nothing happens.
I'm sure at the moment nothing's happening with the COVID. I take it that's affected you quite bad in the music industry.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely miss gigging. I haven't done anything in such a long time, so it would be nice to get back to that hopefully this year.
Oh, I bet it has. So with your gigging, obviously pre-lockdown, which I'm guessing would be 2019 mainly, that you'd have been doing that. What sort of places have you been doing your gigs at and events? Have you had any like nice places where like wow, I've enjoyed doing it there?
So like most of my gigs are normally smaller pub gigs where you get like a few people listening and you think, oh, this isn't really that great. But then you get the occasional one where loads of people are there and it's amazing and like everyone's actually enjoying it. And I've done a couple that are really cool. Like I played at, we have like a music festival thing in Tame called Music in the Park, and quite a lot of people go to that. And then I did a similar thing in a town called Aylesbury where it's a big free event, loads of people go. And then the best thing I've ever done was I got to play at Countryfile Live for BBC Introducing. And that was definitely the best thing. I got to do that twice, and there was actually people like interested in music there. So that was really nice to actually get followers from that and have people say, you know, I love your songs and things like that. So yeah, that was definitely like the best gig I've ever done. So.
That's good, and hopefully this year, maybe towards the end of the year at least, you can get back and doing your gigs and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So your singing voice, who you not sort of inspired to be, like I spoke to you at the beginning. I think you're very similar to Sam Smith, and like we said earlier, that is a massive compliment, I think personally. But who is like your inspiration? Who's you like? Oh, I'd love to be.
So I found that question really hard because the people I actually listen to, the music I listen to is like, I'd never be able to do that. Like I like people like Lady Gaga and Beyonce, but like I'm never gonna be able to dance like them and like, you know, do all of that business. But pretty much like anyone that just like major like pop music and like I love queer music and gay people, like anyone that makes it in the music industry that's gay is like my icon because I do think it's more difficult. So like anyone like Years and Years, people like that, I love Years and Years. Yeah, anyone like that is just sort of like my inspiration.
No, that's cool. Like I say, I personally think you've got an amazing, absolutely amazing. It's powerful, really crisp when you're actually singing as well, which I think is a great attribute to have as a musician. So obviously during the lockdown, obviously that's been an absolute nightmare for absolutely everybody, especially you guys as musicians. And like we've said, with a lot of musicians and obviously the quick chat we had at the beginning, that it's great when you're having your gigs and you've got your people clapping, your people smiling and happy and cheering and stuff like that. But when you're doing your live gigs on, say, your Facebooks and Instagram, it's not the same, is it? But you have been doing some, haven't you? Or done a couple?
Yeah, so I've only done 2 at the moment, but I have got like, I'm planning to do more because the second one I enjoyed a lot more. So the first one I did was like in the first lockdown. And I just found it so awkward because I didn't know what to say. And I just sort of like these awkward pauses where I was trying to figure out what song I was going to sing next. And obviously you have the delay as well. So you ask people a question and you could be sat there 2 minutes and think no one's responded. And then I started the next song and everyone's talking in the chat. And I found it really difficult. So I was prepared the second time when I did one the other week. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to try and do as many of those. And even like when we're out of lockdown and we can do gigs again, I'm going to try and carry on doing live streams for people that can't come and see me. Because obviously sometimes I'm playing in places where like you won't be able to like get there. So like I think it would be nice to do more online stuff just to keep like interaction with like, I don't want to say fans because I don't think I have fans, but like people that enjoy my music.
No, to be fair, looking at your following, I think you've definitely got some fans out there. And I think that live stream idea is a great idea. Even when you get to your gigs, if you can actually link them live to people that can't get to you now, it's like you say, where you live to where other people live in the country and in the world. If they like your voice, why not put it out there? See what I mean? It's actually
definitely. You've
got to have one positive from this lockdown, that we all know now how to do these Microsoft Teams, these Zoom meetings and stuff like that. So we've all learned how to use the computer a little bit more. So make it and use it to your advantage. Truth in my lies right now are falling like the rain.
So let the river rise me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. And the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
That's brilliant that we found out a little bit of information on how you've been during the COVID period and the gigs you've been doing. And like I said, hopefully by the end of this year, you'll be back out and back at these gigs. 2018 was when you first brought out your first single, which was Never Did Before. Where did your inspiration come from, singing and then words, and where you got that to get that out?
So when I wrote that song, I'd been in contact with a producer from London that I work with now all the time. And he said to me, if you ever want to make a song, just like, you need to write more. Because at that time, I wasn't actually writing a lot of music. So I wrote a song on piano, like sort of, I'm not that great at piano, so it was just chords. And it was actually called Party Alone, and it was a ballad. And I took it to him and he said, yeah, it's really good, but like, I think it could be a lot better. So I went to London and like, we pretty much completely rewrote the whole thing. Like I kept the verses, but the rest of the song completely changed, and it just became this like electronic pop track that was just super catchy in the end. And I was really happy with it for my first single, just because it sounded so professional. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much just what happened with that. Like, it was sort of like the first thing I ever did. If I probably wouldn't do it now, it's the kind of thing I look back on and I think, oh, I would never release that now. Although everyone probably thinks my music still sounds the same. Yeah, for me, it's like, there wasn't a lot of focus on like the lyrics. I didn't really know what I was doing at that time, but yeah, it's still a really great song and it's super catchy. So that's sort of like where that one came from.
Well, that's all you can ask for at the end of the day. And like I say, you write your own music as well. Do you play any other musical instruments? I know you said it's just the chords you do on the piano. Do you play any other?
Yeah, so I play guitar, or I pretend to play guitar, because I'm also not that great at guitar. It's a good job I can sing. Yeah, so I've been playing guitar for a really long time, but I've never been able to I can't do bar chords and things like that. So I play like open chords, but almost every single pop song uses the same chords anyway. So when I do gigs, it makes it quite easy.
But you're not here to laugh when the words round. Now all the words make sense, they never did before.
Never Did Before. Next song was Hide. So talk us through it.
Okay. So Hide was pretty rushed actually. I wrote the song way before I wrote Never Did Before, and it was the kind of song I listened to and I thought, oh, that's not very good, like people wouldn't really enjoy it. But then I went back to it and I sat and played it on my guitar. And I thought, I'm going to record it on Logic and just see what it sounds like. And I really liked it. Because the song's a lot more emotional. It has a lot more of me in it. So I remember messaging my producer and saying, like, what do you think of this? Is there any chance you could just sort of like mix it and make it sound a little bit better? Because it was just me playing guitar and the vocal. And he said, yeah, why not? And he did it all for me, sent it back. And it was just going to be for YouTube originally because I recorded a video with it and everything. And everyone liked it so much and said, why haven't you put it on Spotify? So then I was like, oh, okay. Like maybe I am actually good at writing songs. So that was when that one ended up going on like Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. But it's completely different, obviously, to Never Did Before because it's an acoustic track. And yeah, it's just like, it's kind of emotional and it means a lot more to me than Never Did Before. So yeah, I still play that one at gigs. And that's where that.
No, that's good. And like you said, it's sometimes nice to have the variety of singing rather than just keeping to one type of music or
yeah.
Sing, you know where I'm coming from. So no, that's good.
Yeah.
And here is Hide. Thanks, Lewis. That was Hide, so they can obviously see that was the acoustic side of your singing voice. Next song you brought out was in 2019, was To the River. Over to you.
So To the River, I would now describe as like my sound. That's sort of like when people think of my music, I think that's what they would think of. And it was the first song that was like really successful for me. Like, well, I know it's not obviously huge, but in terms of my music, it was really successful. So I managed to get radio plays with it, and I got noticed by BBC Introducing. I actually had an interview with BBC Introducing in Oxford, and they played the track. And that's actually what led to the Countryfile Live gig. So To the River's like the song that everyone says to me, oh, like To the River's still my favorite song that you wrote, which is like really cool to actually have like a song that people love and still listen to now. And it's definitely a favorite when I do it at gigs and stuff. Like I remember when the song came out and I did a little gig at a local pub, and I invited all my work colleagues and friends, and I started singing it, and everyone was singing along with me. And it was just like one of those little cool moments where I was like, oh, I've actually written something good, like really good this time. So yeah, it's definitely, it's my favorite release that I've done so far. And it sort of defined my sound, like this sort of like electric sort of pop sort of sound. Yeah, that's where that one came about from. And yeah.
Well, when I start the my radio show in the next month, we'll make sure we put that maybe as one of our first ones on for you. And obviously, when the radio show goes on, so we'll just let the guys have a little bit of listen to that one.
To the river, take me back to your heart. Let your love wash over me. It's so clear to see. Take me back to the river.
To the River, which came out in 2019. After that, obviously 2020, the great COVID year, you brought out Sorry to Say.
Yeah, so Sorry to Say I actually released, I think before COVID was really that bad in this country. And it was a complete different direction again. Like I decided to do like a ballad, and it's a piano ballad. And it's actually one of the ones I go back now and I like don't necessarily love when I listen to it. But I like singing it. I just don't necessarily like what I ended up doing with it, like the released version. But yeah, it's probably my most emotional thing I've released so far. And yeah, it's just one of those ones where I look back and I think, oh, was it the right thing to do? But like, I'm glad I did it because I wanted to try something different. But it was a complete different direction from like the electric pop sound of To the River to then move quite harshly to like a slow piano ballad. And people don't think necessarily reacted the best, like the way I thought they would. But yeah, it's another one. I love to play it at gigs. I love to sing it live. And I recently did an acoustic version of it, which I think is 10 times better. But the song has actually grown on me more. Like the more I sing it, the more I love it. So that's the story behind that one.
No, that's good as well. And like we did say earlier on, you've actually got your acoustic side and your sensitive side and the different types of music. And I don't think that's a bad thing to have. It does open you up to a wider audience as well, rather than, like you say, singing to one type of music. Okay, cool. Well, we'll let the guys listen to that now. So this is Sorry to Say.
I'm sorry to say that I once tried. I'm sorry to say that you took it all for granted. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to say.
Listen to that type of music as well, and if they like you, start following you. And in that sense, how do we follow you? Where do we find you on social media?
So I'm on all social medias. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I think you can find me on SoundCloud, Spotify, all of that stuff. And it's just @LewisBranch_, apart from Facebook, which is @LewisBranch Music, which is confusing. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, it's just @LewisBranch, no spaces or anything. And I'm on Twitter as well now. So yeah, just search my name. Hopefully it should come up. And I'm on everything. And you can find my music on everything as well. It's just on like it's Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. Yeah, all of them.
No, that's brilliant. And we'll make sure we put all that down on the pages for them to obviously have a look.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Lewis, everyone can now get hold of you across all your social media platforms. Let's hope your following goes up and up. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep knocking out them live performances and stuff like that. You now know how you can get yourself in the right sort of frame for doing all that. Hope the gigging kicks up and starts off for you in 2021 towards the end, and obviously wish you all the luck. You obviously brought out during the COVID last year, May time 2020, Blah Blah Blah.
Yeah, so I recorded Blah 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 at the beginning of last year with the hopes to release it. And then the lockdown happened and I didn't really know what to do with it. I was like, oh, should I keep it or should I just release it? And I think I'd already started to promote it. So I thought, well, I can't now be like, oh, by the way, this isn't happening. And also if I'd waited, it would have never come out. So I decided to just go for it. And I thought, I'll give it a go, see if people, see what people think of the song. And it was a return to sort of my more electric pop side, but even more electric. Like we did loads of cool stuff with the vocals that took forever, and yeah, it was like quite a different sound again for me. And I remember writing the song, I think I wrote it in the October of 2019, and I was just walking along and I kept like humming this melody in my head, and I tried to think of words to it, and I literally was going blah 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 blah. So I thought, well, those would be the words. And then I ended up writing it about, like if anyone's ever annoyed you, or if it was like about an ex or someone like that, and like someone that just wouldn't stop talking. So that's like the theme of the song, and that's what I went with. And it's more like tongue in cheek and it's more fun. So I really enjoyed doing that one. And it's definitely one of my favorites that I've released so far. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. And I understand you got a video for that as well. So we'll make sure we stick that on the end of this interview as well. So that'll be quite nice. So Lewis, I just want to thank you, to be fair, coming on and giving us some time today to obviously to take out this opportunity and having this interview with us. And like I said to you earlier, please keep sending all your stuff. We'll stick it across on our websites, all our social media. All we ask is please share, obviously, our pages as well. Any other of your musicians, please pass our details on to them and ask them to follow us as well. But I'll hand back over to you. Thank you very much.
Well, I just want to say, thank you for having me. I'm not that busy, so if you ever want me back on again, I will come back. But yeah, thank you for having me. It means a lot to have like things like this happen. This is the most exciting music thing I've happened like in a long time, because obviously it's been so quiet. So it's nice to be getting back to doing things again and promoting my music and talking about it. So yeah, thank you for having me. And this is my song, the newest song I've released, Blah Blah Blah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Lewis.
Thank you.
I'm so over everything. Love songs dancing in the rain. I'm so over feeling tired. I've been running around chasing all your lies. Blah, blah. And now I'm bored of hearing you talk, bored of hearing your thoughts, bored of hearing what's on your mind. So can you just shush? Bored of hearing you talk, bored of hearing your thoughts. Because every time you move your lips, all I hear is la 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 la, blah blah blah, la 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 la, blah blah blah. His fake smile. I'm so over feeling tired. I've been running, running, running all night. And now I'm bored of hearing you talk, bored of hearing your thoughts, bored of hearing what's on your mind. So can you just shush? Bored of hearing you talk, bored of hearing your thoughts. Because every time you move your lips, all I hear is la 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 la, blah blah blah, la 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 la, blah blah blah. Quiet, sit down, stop running your mouth. Be quiet, sit down. Because every time you move your lips, all lie here.